Okay, welcome to Behind the Scenes of Sandwiches of History, Editing and Posting. First thing I do, project name. Mistype the sandwich a couple times there. Then we go and choose a location. If I don't have one set up already, I gotta create a new folder, my Sandwiches of History folder, and mistype the name there a couple of times. This is when I'm generally having coffee, so I'm not actually at peak performance. And go ahead and create that, put it in there, create the document. Tweak a few windows here, kind of adjust it, and then go and get our raw footage files and drag those into the app, and then drag those into the timeline. And what's funny is every time I drag it into the timeline, it's in reverse order. So every single time I have to do this weird shuffle. Go figure. So the one thing you can take a look at is there's two bars. The top bar represents the video, the bottom bar represents the audio. And what I can do at this point is I can tell on the bottom bar where audio starts that I would like be doing the intro. And I know that the last intro I did is the one that was correct. I usually do 2 or 3 or 4 intros, and I'll fumble something up. And so I'll do that last intro. That'll be the last one. So that's what I was looking for. And so there you go. There's the intro is edited. Copy, paste, and then adjust, and then yeah, just go through like that. And it's funny how the waveform really makes editing efficient. Being able to see the audio makes editing ridiculously efficient. And I'm going to skip ahead here in a little bit and go right to where we're adding the ending. This is the end slate with the camera or the image that zooms in and you hear the ah. What I do is I look for a file that might have the same ending and same cover art. If I don't find that, then I just open one up and take it from there. And of course, when I paste it in, the ending will not have the right photo, right? So now I've got to replace the footage. And so in order to do that, I need to have the photo prepped. And so what you'll see here in a second is me opening the photo in Photoshop. Wait for it. It's coming. Oh boy. The anticipation is building, isn't it? Yay, there we go. Sorry about that. Anyway, we're opening it in Photoshop. I've got to make it smaller, so I get 1920 as the aspect ratio, and I crop it to 1080, so that way it fits the tall format, and then save it out to my folder. And then I do a square crop. Well, this one I did a little color adjusting because it was so blown out, but it didn't really help. Then I do a square crop, and that is for, oops, we'll get to that. There we go. Now it's a square crop time. And the square crop is so that I can put it in the newsletter that I send out every Friday afternoon. If you haven't gotten that, sign up for it now at sandwichesofhistory.com. And that's 500 pixels. And yeah, we should be done after I export this as well. Go ahead and don't say that. Quit Photoshop, come back, and now we can replace the footage that's in there now with the image that we just did. And there we go, we're good. Now I've got to get the cover art because I forgot to get the cover art from a file. So I'll just grab it from this one. No, yeah, this one I think. And it says media offline because the files aren't there. I'm grabbing sandwiches, 101 sandwich recipes, or 1001 sandwiches cover. And of course, that's not the one for this. So, got to make sure the time adjusts to the time. Go back to my composition here. And do the same thing. Replace footage. Go and look for the correct cover in the file of cover art that I have. There it is. Boom. Done. So now I just sort of do a scrub through. Everything looks pretty good. Right on. Okay. And now we'll render it out. We'll send it to the media encoder queue. Give it a name. Make sure it's going to the right folder. And save out to this media encoder queue. And now I do a save as and save a vertical. And this is how I get the Instagram and TikTok versions. Change the frame size to 1080 by 1920. Boom. Clearly the audio looks terrible there, but all I have to do is zoom in 178%. Make a little adjustment here and there. And I can copy that and put that on all the other clips. And looks pretty good. Everything's good. And there we go. And now I have to adjust the end slate. This end slate, the photo is actually built for this purpose. And so when it's used in the horizontal format, it is actually zoomed in a little bit. So now make sure everything's cool. Yes, okay, good. Now it's time for captions. The auto transcript feature in Adobe Premiere Pro is actually okay. It's not great, and you'll see a little bit of that coming up here. Doesn't take too long to do, which is nice. And when it's done, I can edit it here, or I can just go ahead and have it make the captions and then edit it, which I prefer to do. Single line, thank you. Now it generates the captions, and it always screws this part up. It puts the last caption and runs it over the end slate with the so that's wrong. So then I go back and I can go back and edit and change things from submissions of history to sandwiches of history, and that's the kind of stuff that every once in a while you'll see some of that slip through the cracks. But now I've got all that done. I'm going to format it. Gotham Light 40 is the pixel size. I pin it to the top of the composition, drop it 200 pixels, turn off the drop shadow on the text, and then put a background around it so you can actually read it better. Generally, I don't like to do 2 lines, but I'm not hyper picky about that. Everything looks good. Time to send it to the media encoder queue. Give it its special name, definitely in the right place. And right, now we're going to export our subtitles to an SRT file, and you'll see why in a second. And then we just have to close things out here. All right, now we get our media encoder queue, we hit play, and it goes and starts rendering things. Meanwhile, I go over to the sandwich description, and it's the running sandwich description, so these are all the sandwich descriptions for a long time now. And I look for the same cookbook, and I copy over the tags and the hashtags and the description and a title, paste it up top, and then alter it to what the sandwich is for today. Oh, here I've got to grab these. These are the latest format of join the sandwich club, get merch, and get all kinds of stuff that I use now. So now I go in and alter it, changes the sandwich name. I don't have to worry about changing the year. I don't have to worry about changing the name of the cookbook. You'll notice there's a bunch of different hashtags. That first set is for Instagram, second set Facebook, third set for YouTube, and then there's tags separate from that for YouTube. So now it's time to make the cover or thumbnail art. So I go there, do that, do a screen grab. Yep. And now we do that with the horizontal, same thing. Scrub through to where I am taking my first bite, because that's where I've landed on doing thumbnails. And there you go. So now I open up the templates that I use for vertical and horizontal covers, as you will, if you will, thumbnails. And the screenshot that's for the vertical is just fine. I can just open that up, copy, paste, and then adjust a little bit, shift it a little bit, and then change the name of the sandwich and the year. And then I'll copy that over. And sometimes I need to make an adjustment to the white background behind the text. And as you can see here, it doesn't quite fit. And I do that, keep the white text background kind of rough, because I kind of like the feel of it. So we'll go ahead and export that as a PNG to our file. Copy and paste the text to our clipboard. And go here. Now this is interesting. The screen grab for the horizontal is always way too big. I have to scale it down to 1,000 pixels before I can copy it over and paste it into the file for the thumbnail. You'll see that happen here. There you go. And by too big, I mean it's just too heavy. It's too many megabytes for it to work. So I have to actually downscale it. Export as our PNG, and we are all set on the production side of things. Now we go to upload. This is YouTube. Upload the video. Yep, there it is. There it is. And now comes Copy Paste Festival. I go back to the document, copy the title, paste, copy the body copy and spaces below. There you go. And the space is there between the hashtags and the body copy, so that you don't have to see a bunch of hashtags. So then I also copy the tags for YouTube, which I'll put up in a second. Add the thumbnail, add it to the playlist. Scroll down, and this is where we put the tags that I'd copied. Next, I want to tell them, yes, I would like to make money off of this with ads. They're going to run ads no matter what, so I figure I might as well get a piece of the action. Tell them there's nothing controversial or violent or weird. Submit a rating. Add my subtitles. I just upload that subtitle folder our file that we had exported. Boom. And then you add end screens, and this best video for viewer and subscribe pop up towards the end of the video. And then I schedule it. And yeah, there you go, April 4th for 12 p.m. We're good. It tells me it's not going to go unless they finish the checks, which they will, and then we're all set. Now we're off to Meta, or Facebook specifically. So I upload again from our file, choosing the horizontal version. And then it's pretty much the same process, less involved than YouTube. Copy and paste over the headline, copy and paste over the text and spaces, and then copy and paste over the Facebook specific hashtags, and then make sure I'm not leaving any language in there like, so hit the bell and subscribe that are YouTube specific. Upload the thumbnail. They take care of captions, so I don't worry about that. And then schedule. So pretty straightforward. I do have to pay attention to AM and PM here because I've accidentally sent things out at AM many times. All right, now we go to the mobile and add to TikTok. Here I've got to put in what the name of the sandwich is, just in case no one has their sound on and they can at least see the name of the sandwich. I used to do the captioning in the TikTok app, but it's such a pain in the rear and it just doesn't do anything. Here I add music. I try to find songs that have a pretty decent amount of usage in other videos, because the algorithm kind of looks at that and recommending to folks. Sometimes I try to find stuff that fits with the theme of the sandwich, but Epicurean is not exactly a real thing, so I just go ahead and pick hotel right here, and sounds good. And then I turn the volume on the music all the way down, and I go and copy and paste the description and headline only from our copy doc, our Apple Notes. Plug in some hashtags, and then we're off to set up the cover as soon as I'm done with the hashtags. So now I select a cover. It's always the end slate of a sandwich. There we go. And then I put in this at the end. It's just because I always have, so I put that in. Misspelled the sandwich a couple times. There we go. Samditch. This is good. Yeah. In 901. Anyway, so then we set that up, do a little tilt for fun, add the location, and save as a draft. Now we're off to Instagram to stage this one. And let's go ahead and make sure we're in the right account because I have too many. And then we go add to post, pick our video. It's already got the subtitles, so we're good. Then we go back to our copy doc. I found in Instagram that when I don't include the title of the sandwich, people read the description more. So I just stopped adding the title. But this is the one where I copy all of the hashtags and everything, paste it in there. I know from before that there's no YouTube copy in there, so I'm pretty good. Add the cover art from my camera roll, tag people there if I need to, and then just save it, and that's it. Thanks for watching.